Flipping heck. It's only another episode of Haggis. In this episode, I'm going to be fiddling around with the electrics. Phase 1, really just going through and just diagnosing the loom, what works, what doesn't. Hope you enjoy that. A little bit of a kind of grumble about the cooling system on this thing. Yeah. Anyway, if you like it, if you don't, can't turn it off, there you go, give me a thumbs down. Not many thumbs downs. So I'm guessing you guys like the content. If you want to contact me, churchhouseclassics, it's all one word, @gmail.com. If you want to buy merch, or if you want to subscribe, kind of donate beer to the channel, then there's a little PayPal me thing just scrolling along down here. All donations gratefully received. Thank you very much to everyone who has donated to the channel. Motivates me to do more of this kind of stuff. Anyway, this episode, some of this footage, the first 10 minutes or so, was actually shot just before Christmas. And as you may or may not know, I was diagnosed with the COVIDs on Christmas morning. Thank you very much. Yes, a wonderful little gift there. Fully recovered now. Back in full and rude health, as you can see. But anyway, there is some coughing, there is some snuffling, wheezing, farting, God knows what else. So just bear that in mind. And I am mildly asthmatic, and it did bring a little bit of the asthma out in kind of like the post kind of COVID recovery period. But anyway, it wasn't that bad for me anyway. I know people get it worse. It wasn't that bad for me. But anyway, enjoy the video. I'm rambling. Bye. Break line time. So here, making up the passenger side chassis line. Bulkhead line. Goes right across the top of the bulkhead. I've had the water bottle in there just to make sure it wasn't going to interfere with that. It needs to go onto there, and I want a bend. But what I'll do is I'll attach it on. This is the pain in the arse end to access really. So if I screw this on to the brake hose, then all I need to do then is adjust it as I wish. It's just the easiest way I find of doing these bloody things. So let's do that. And that. That. That'll do that. And I want to put a bend in there. And go onto there. And bend into there, and then it's going to go pretty much, parallel to this one. Righty. Right, let's just clip that up there. It's not quite the bend I wanted at the top there, it's not far out. Do it, shall we? I'll push that into the clip here. This wants to go over the top of the master. Oh, and then we want quite a good bend there. And then this is going to go into here, like that. What I've got to do now, cut this to the right length, put that ferrule on it. Yeah, quite happy with those, they look alright. Oh, Where do we think it needs to go? It wants to go onto that, so I think if I was to chop it there, that's pretty good. That's a brand spanking new flare. It shouldn't need to go up biblically tight. But I don't know what biblically tight even means, but you just want to be careful with it. It is a new brake flare. I tend to just nip them, bleed the brakes, check for leaks, and there never is. Right, okay, now all I really can, having done that, is work my way, knock you over again, work my way along now, tightening up. Right, happy with that, happy with that. Then over here. That's good, that's good. What I might actually do, I might just clip those two cables together. Oh, come on, fucking thing. Over here, where these cables go, you can see that I've got gone the wrong side of the bloody bonnet bracket, but there's not actually enough room behind it for the two cables, two pipes to go. So I'll just clip these two together and make sure it is clear. It's not going to vibrate at all. It'll do the job. It's nice. Happy with it. Right. What next? So I figured that the easiest way to clean this carpet is going to be with it actually, the majority of it installed. And I wanted to put this piece in anyway because it's a bastard to get it in when the heater's in place. So I'm going to put the heater in a second. And the dash top can go in. I still need to sort out this loom connector here. Still haven't done that. Putting the interior back together again. It's heading in the right direction. I need to remember my pop rivet gun to pop rivet the surround of the gear stick back into place again. I haven't got that. Just need a little bit of all I'll do is I'll unclip them. I mean, obviously I just, when, as I was unrolling it, I was feeding it through here, so I just need to unclip and straighten those. As it goes along the top of the bulkhead though, I'm happy enough with that. Just need to make sure the pipes aren't rattling against each other, because the MOT man didn't like that. There's a place just there, you can see they're just touching, but I go around and make sure everything is absolutely as it should be. I might actually be tempted to put, so that curve looked alright there, and it's also quite strong because it's curved and curved. From here it looks funny. It's how it's going to be. I don't even know if you can see that. You can see it. Camera's at a funny angle. Yeah, this thing up here, so this is the kind of hot rail for the inlet, I'm guessing, because that's the air inlet. Obviously the intercooler, turbo intercooler air. There's a heated rail up here. This pipe here, bleed pipe, I don't know, completely bunged up, absolutely completely bunged up. So I've cleaned that out. Trying to think what else. What's a damn good steam clean under here? I can pull this back through now. This is the main engine loom. Goes through here and probably down there, I would have thought. Trying to make sure it's all going to be well clear of the exhaust. Don't want to be anywhere near it. That wire there, I don't know what that, why is that so flipping long? Does that really need to be that long? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Anyway, another wire to shorten. It's the big electricals day. Right, so found out first and foremost that the tank, already confirmed it was plastic. Remove the plate from the middle of the boot floor, which you can just about see there, and then there's a connector, and the connector is what keeps the thing separate. There's the loom end of it there. The sedimenter is attached up onto this wing here, which is what I would have expected for a VM engine. Then what I did, well, then I had some fun. So what I basically did was I took the connector on the main part of the loom, wrote all the colours down, all 14 of them, took the connector that goes to the rear of the car. This is the one that was original to the car. First and foremost, there was a dodgy wire on this. Has it fallen off? One of the wires was dodgy, that one. Interior light wire wasn't working, excuse me. I just confirmed those. And the only one that was different, I haven't got a red and yellow on the loom wire. The red and yellow is the fog lights at the back. Now, the light units have actually got fog light bulbs in them. When I did Southpaw, this area down here was completely blanked off. There was nothing in it, both sides. So I'm rather hoping that we're going to have fog lights. We'll see. I don't really want to start cutting this connector off. I've ordered some test leads, and all I'll really do is put voltage through and see if we can get each of these circuits to light up, because now I know exactly what each one is. I can just test each circuit individually, and then when it boils down to it, I'll probably end up chopping this off. The reason I'm not going to put this whole loom straight in, this is the loom that I bought with the dash loom. It came from the 1980s car, 1990s car, is this thing would have come with a metal tank with the sender on the side and the pump on the chassis rail. So while I've got all of the wires there, they've got completely different ends on them. So it's going to require a bit of a splice at the back end of the car. I'd rather splice inside the car because it's more waterproof. I'm going to end up having to put waterproof connectors if I'm splicing under there. So that's been that, and then obviously just go through the wiring diagrams. It'll make life easy if you put up the wiring diagram in alphabetical order. So when you're looking for rear lights, blah 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 blah, you can find them and then locate them. And this is a 1991 wiring diagram. This is what we're looking for this piece. It's actually not that much different. It's interesting because the VM motor, this must have been the last year they made the VM motor in these things, because it's definitely got a plastic tank, it's definitely got the wiring through to it, it's definitely factory, and I doubt that mechanical pump has ever been connected. Yes, right. Next interesting thing I found, I'm just dropping the batteries back in for my testing. This fucking bolt here. What the fuck? I mean, the battery doesn't have to move very far, and it's just going to punch a hole straight through the side of the battery. So I'm going to take that bolt off, and I'm going to put something a bit more sensible in there. I might try and hacksaw it off, we'll see. It needs to be more sensible than that anyway. Batteries all connected. These batteries, they're the wrong type for the car. The positive terminal should be there, the negative terminal should be there, both sides. I don't know. Maybe it's some Portuguese thing. I've seen other cars with the batteries this way around. My dad's car came over from Luxembourg, had one of these type batteries. Wrong! Just means all the cables are a bastard to fit. Anyway, the stuff at the front will work. The stuff at the back is not going to work, I'm afraid. Let's just have a quick look and see what's going on. No interior light. Lights. Oh, that's encouraging. Right, okay, we've got lights. Full lights. So it should be lights are on the back. We won't have anything on this side because the loom's not connected. I can check the circuit. The interior lights are on. Side lights are on, but there's no ignition, so the headlights will not be on. That's about right. Lights off, because I don't know the state of these batteries. Did the fuel flap open? No, it didn't. Right, that's good. We've got a light flashing at the back. Got anything flashing at the front? Yes, both fronts. Neither of the side repeaters. Fix that. Just check the basic functions before we go too berserk. Right, flashers. Well, the lights are on. Is the telltale on? Yes, telltale's on. Horn. I think the horn needs some work to the circuitry. Windows, I'm going to need to put an earth on. Be nice to get the windows wound up though, wouldn't it? Right, let's run the keys. Oh, did the clock light work as well? No, I don't think the clock light's working. The clock's working though. Oh look, another one of these is just lit up. It's slowly working its way through. I suspect there's some earths that need connecting still. So we've got two of those lights. That's all good. Hooter went toot and then that was it. Right, let's go and find the ignition keys now. Then we're going to have to start writing down lists of things that don't work. A huge bundle of keys here. I've got one for each of the doors, I've got one for the ignition, I've got a couple of oddies. I've got no idea what that one does. And I have got none for the tailgate. Right, not ignition. Bendy one's probably going to be ignition, I would have thought. Oh, I've got ignition. Turn the blower off. I've got ignition. There's no glow plug circuit. Probably because that relay's not earth. The low fuel warning light is on because let's put the lights on so you can see what's going on. Low fuel light warning's on because that's part of that connector over there, I'm guessing. Right, I think really I just need to go through and just double check all these. Right, now all horns are working. That's better. Right, wiper's working, park isn't. So I'm going to have to take the wiper motor out again, other things. Low coolant's working, oil's working. Still nothing to the fuel flap solenoid. Should have checked that really before I got too far. I'll tell you one thing that will work. Let's just try lights now with the ignition on. I should have lights across the front. We have. Right, so headlights working. Okay, I just need to go through now methodically and test absolutely everything and then just write a list of all my faults. So we might have some continuity issues here, I don't know. I last worked on the 23rd of December. It's now the 3rd of January. I'm out of isolation now. So what have I been up to today? Well, fitted the belt for the power steering pump. I've got a set of second-hand pipes. Let's find Mr. Torch, who was literally there not 12 seconds ago. Welcome to my wonderful world. Excuse me. Just the remnants of the COVID. So the chap that sold me the brackets for the engine, I'm going to find my fucking torch. It's going to piss me off, this is. It's literally, there it is. Right, okay, so here we go again. The chap who I bought the brackets for the VM ancillaries to mount onto a right-hand drive car, he also sold me the two power steering hoses, which go from right the way over there all the way down here and into the top of the box. They're in really good order, so I fitted them, saved a small fortune on putting new ones on. So that's the power steering circuit now complete. As you can see, the belt's on, tightened it all up, tensioned it, beautiful, really happy with that. Got the missing bracket for the alternator, which is this one down here. And that's in place now, so the alternator can be adjusted up. But before we go there, we're having to sort the water pump out. Now, as you're aware, I've had some challenges with the water pump. It's not actually bolted on at the moment, so let's just take him off. I've cleaned him all up. He's more than serviceable, so he's going to go back on again. There's a little bit of gank up there. Looks like someone's been using some sealant on the hoses, I guess. I'll just take that off with a wire wheel. But the rest of the thing is in really good order. You can actually get the complete pump new, but there doesn't seem any point in replacing this one, even though it's got a date stamp of 1991 on it, I noticed. There we are. 0291. So that's going to go back on again. Oh, let's balance him up there for a second. Obviously had to clean around the faces in here. I should use this face here to make up a gasket using gasket paper. I guess I could use sealant, I don't know. Hoses, Carreras continues to be a problem. This is the heater feed hose, and it's got quite a large diameter at one end and quite a small diameter at the other end, so I'm going to have to make something up with silicone hoses using that. If I can't, I can't. If I can, I can. I will be able to, though. Don't worry about that. This is the old bottom hose for now. Look at this. This is how good these are. I can crunch it, and it's all just big lumps of rust. I did start flushing the radiator out, and it ain't looking good, in all honesty. It's very, very, very poor coolant flow through the radiator. It might need a new matrix. I shall keep you posted on that one. What I thought I would do, though, this is one of the jobs that I did start to do just before. Well, there's a little bypass hose that sits on the bottom of the thermostat housing, goes into the top of the water pump. And basically, you need to fit it at the same time as you fit the water pump. This is the hose that came off. It's in pretty poor shape. So I'm going to replace that. It needs complete new hose there. I haven't got anything. I think it was a 20-something millimetre diameter. Let me just show you how I do that. There's a million different ways you could do it. You could measure the output stub, I suppose. But the easiest way I find of doing it is using a step drill. Just push it in until it don't go any further. Rotate it, make sure it's gone central. And I can see that this hose is, I'll pull that back a tiny bit, 24mm ID. 24mm ID. Check it both ends. Yeah, it doesn't quite go as far as the 26. Oh, it does there. 24 silicone will stretch over a 26 though, so I'll probably go slightly smaller than slightly larger and replace that. Trouble is, I need that much of it. I've been through all the existing hoses to see if there's anything that's in better shape. That's the closest I've got, and that's 19. So it's too far away. Will not stretch that on. What else have I been doing? I don't know, because I don't know what I videoed last time. There you go. Did start doing all the electrical testing. The only real faults, I mean, I've left my book at home, unfortunately. The only real faults I had, the windscreen wiper park mechanism does not work. It also needs a fair amount of wiggling backwards and forwards to get it to work on low speed. Now, I've cleaned up the wiper switch, which is down here. I've just been wiggling that back and forth. You can see. Perhaps we should have the torch now, I don't know, Richard. But I've got a feeling it's actually the motor that's at fault here. You can see I've done the windows up. The electric windows are working. Quite a lot of stuff does actually work. I'm just going around just testing individual little components. I'm not convinced that the throttle cable is going to work, because the throttle cable just has a hole rather than the original, which has a slot. And I think that this mechanism, this enrichment device down here, because it's plumbed into the cooling system, I'm guessing it does something to do with richening it up when the coolant's cold, etc, etc, etc. And what that basically does then is moves this lever in some way. I don't know, it could be completely fucking seized up. I really don't know what it does. Anyway, does it actually do anything at all? It should do. I'm pretty sure that should move. I'll have a look at it later on. But it's some sort of enrichment device, and I'm guessing what it actually does is it moves the throttle backwards and forwards. You can see there's a bump stop there, which has been adjusted onto the back of the throttle. Throttle, when it doesn't have the enrichment device on, will just work like that. So I need to check that out. What else? Fuel line. We've got problems with the fuel line in that. Got a rigid line, not a rigid, but a rigid plastic line down here, and a floppy soft line up here, and they were just joined together with a Jubilee clip. I don't think that's very good because it was certainly leaking beforehand. I'll find a better way of doing that. Oh, dear. Really is about it as far as I want to get this engine up and running, really. Oh, I got the brake calipers back. Let's have a spoiler on the brake calipers. A sunny day today, January. Cold, but sunny. Look at these puppies. Just balance you there. So these went off the week before Christmas and came back on the 23rd. They turned them around in 3.5 days. Cleaned, painted, new pistons, new seals. Very nice, eh? They'll go straight back on.